Hello, good morning. Let's get on into it. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah LaVern, and yep, this is one street over. What's happening one street over from We Living? We're living right, as we always like to quote our lovely county mayor, Mayor Billy Vogle. We get to live and work. We are blessed because we get to live and work in Robertson County.
That's right. That's what I told him at Good Morning Robertson County last week.
Yeah, that's right.
I was glad to get to go. I had to miss 1 month because I was at Sarah Cannon, but they was glad to see me.
Well, we're all glad to see you, brother. All big, praying big for you too. We love you.
You know, I was surprised this morning. It's a little warmer. The sun's shining, and next month when we meet, the time had been changed.
Yeah, will it really? When
March the 8th, I'm hearing.
Really? That seems rather early.
It seems early, but the reason I remember that because that's my birthday.
Okay, well, happy birthday.
So, that's till March the 8th.
But, see, we have spring break coming up. That was the thing we started out with. I said, well, this is the last month we'll be off schedule because typically county commissioners meet on the mayor and county commissioners meet on the second Monday. Third Monday. That's the school board meets second Monday.
Right.
So they typically meet on the third Monday, but they've pushed it to the fourth Monday the last 2 months because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day and President's Day. Because of spring break, they're going to have to push it again, right?
And seemed like we had to push it 1 week when we had the snowstorm and we couldn't.
Well, that was big.
My days is getting all messed up.
Well, that's the thing. You were supposed to meet. Yeah, we were supposed to have had a meeting when the snowstorm came through, and ended up not getting to talk because I don't know. I can't even remember, brother. It has been such a crazy last couple of months. But yeah, the 16th is when spring break starts here in the county for the schools. So they're not going to have the county commissioner meeting on the 16th. They're going to have it on the 23rd. So that means you'll be back in here on the 24th with me.
23rd? Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be back in here on the 24th.
I'll be back here on the 24th morning after. Yeah.
Okay. And I was just telling you, I've talked to them at TriStar, and we're going to start talking to them. The goal is once a month to have them in here. So we're going to have them come in. They could not come in the week after spring break. They're going to be coming in first time on the 19th, talk about, we were talking about how much we hate cancer. They're going to talk about colorectal cancer and how to, the early signs of that. We had Danny, Ashley, and Nelda came in and talked about heart attacks because, he just had a heart attack. And God bless him, he's doing great. But I need to bypass. I mean,
me and Danny go way back.
Yeah,
back to the old Springfield JCs.
Oh wow, yeah,
yeah. Danny's a cut up. He's something else.
He's something else. Yeah,
he could be on TV. Ain't no lie.
Yeah, well, he's going to be because he's in that new movie that they shot. They made they got him a role in that movie because there's a movie, something Lake. And they did the whole thing here pretty much, the major portion of it or the most of it. And they took over the museum and used that as their staging area. And this was all during the snowstorm. And so Danny, because of his heart attack, didn't get to be as involved as he wanted to, but they have a role for him. He plays the mayor. And so there you go.
He does favor Billy Paul a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. So,
but I remember, back in I guess it's 70s, 80s, Johnny Cash done a movie.
Yes,
in Springfield, and he stood on the deck at the old depot down there. They had back when they had the wooden platform, and I got to see him, and I thought, man, this guy's tall. He was a good-looking guy, dressed in black.
Oh yeah.
And then one time they had dirt all up around the courthouse. I can't imagine them putting dirt all in the road. Make it Western or something, I guess.
Last Days of Frank and Jesse James.
That's what it was?
It was, yep. Yeah. But it was shot right here in Springfield. And that was one thing. This is Music Writers Week or something. And they put up a list of some of the music videos that have been shot here in our city. So that was kind of interesting. But we're here to talk to County Mayor Billy Vogle. He is here. And they had the county commissioners meeting last night. And so, what do y'all have going on that you need to share?
Well,
with
it
us
was
this
pretty
morning?
short last night, but in my communications, first thing I want to say is I done a proclamation. We got a football coach that's retired,
Mm,
and he's elected to the Tennessee High School Football Hall of Fame, the
awesome.
Coaches Hall of Fame. There's not but one other coach from Robertson County there, and that's Boyd Smith. But Tom Atkins, he will be awarded Saturday night, and I gave him a proclamation last night because Tom was he was at, I think he was there 27 years,
Mm.
coached 20 years at high school and middle school.
Weird. Which school?
Joe Burns.
Okay.
When Tom started, it was different back then. The parents, we built him a weight room, and the parents did, and you didn't swap game films. He said it was the dark ages, but I remember seeing him many a weekend. He'd be out there on that field picking up rocks and trying to get the field in good shape. And after a rain game, he had to go out there and smooth that mud down. But Tom, can you imagine the lives that he's touched
Oh yeah.
over that many years?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tom was special. He's a special person.
Well, that's very cool. Awesome.
Yeah, he had a brother named Tim, and me and Tim run the chains for 10 or 12 years while Tom was coaching. But both my boys played under Tom, and I'm proud of Tom. I knew him when he was a kid, knew his daddy and them, and what an honor
Mm-hmm.
to be, of all the coaches across the state of Tennessee,
Oh, that's very cool.
to be put in the Hall of Fame.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, don't many coaches stay at one school that long anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They move around and stuff. So, well, congratulations.
Yeah, that was a
congratulations. I don't
big
know him,
honor.
but yeah.
So, but Friday is Tom Atkins Day in Robeson County. If
Well,
you
there you
see
go.
Tom, congratulate him.
That's very cool.
Yeah. That was special to me. I go way
Mm-hmm.
back with that family. I showed the county commission last night. The Tennessee has an advanced agriculture enhancement program. And what it is, if you can go up at our office where the 4-H works and meets and all that, it's this program, a lot of people do not take advantage of it. I mean, if you've got row crops, you're working with hay equipment, hay storage, they will give you money if you, they won't give you all of it now,
Mm-hmm.
but it depends on the size of your operation. And but Robeson County last year got over $5,368,000 came into Robeson County out of this program right here.
Mm.
And I think I haven't never took advantage of it, but I got a lot of friends that has. Genetics. If cattle, bulls, or whatever qualify, they'll pay for half the bull.
Oh, wow.
If you're building a hay storage shed,
Mm-hmm.
they'll pay up to at least a half of it. If you're in the chickens, livestock, pigs, swines, whatever, dairy, you can go apply for this up here at the ag building, and everybody needs to take advantage of it. But to show you how big agriculture is in Robeson County, we're in the top 10
Oh,
of the
wow.
money that came in. I mean, we're even bigger than Williamson County. Wilson County, they didn't get as much as we did. Montgomery County didn't get near as much as we did because it shows you how much agriculture is still in Robeson County.
Yeah, we're just still farming here.
And
Yeah.
and the good thing about it is that $5,800,000, I'm going to say 90% of it was spent in Robeson County.
Mm-hmm.
It's your local co-ops, tractor supplies, and your dealers and parts and stuff. I handed all them out to the county commissioners. You keep that.
Okay. Well,
It's
thank you.
interesting.
Yeah, that is very.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. I love seeing the local families that they feature.
Yeah.
I love seeing the
Well,
local.
you go to the UT Extension building up there, and that's where you apply.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's cattlemen that go to the Master Beef Program. It's a program that you virtual get online, and you have to take a test and all that, and you got to go to so many of those meetings. But they are really putting money out too for anybody who wants to get into cattle business, or
Yeah.
if it's nothing but hay rings, hay equipment, whatever you need.
We've got to keep these farms going, because one thing's for sure, we don't want anybody else feeding.
Well, we got to keep that money in Robeson County
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
I've preached it. We sales tax goes toward the schools. we're one of the few counties that still gives the county government that still gives the schools all of our sales tax that we collect from each city, and it's very important because I think as we go down the road, I don't know how we're going to keep funding some of these schools because of what it costs to build them.
Yeah.
We probably need to build. We got to build one right now for sure.
For sure.
And we're looking at a high school now at $100 million.
Good
It ain't back like when Tom was there, when the parents got out and built the concessions and everything. Them days have changed. Everything's got to be architect and engineered.
Yeah.
And ADA safe.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Also, last night, Kathy Hamsley is retired. She's our administrative elections. She left before the next election right quick, I noticed. Bless your heart, Kathy. She was there 27 years, I believe, administrator. They're going to have something Thursday at Senior Citizens from 4:30 to 6:30 if you want to go by and see Kathy, because they're going to celebrate her retirement. That we're one of the few. I went to a meeting last week, and Trey Harbert was there. He's our, he's Secretary of State or something.
Right.
But he was talking about Tennessee was one of the states that had the most, how you put it, run election in the nation. Yeah.
Okay.
No scrutiny, no nothing. And so it takes some good election people to be involved in that.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm proud of that.
Oh,
and
for sure.
We finally got our letter. We finally got our letter from the state, and it's they checked over all our audits and everything, and we finally got a clear rating that we had zero findings.
Awesome.
We turned that in, but we never really got an official letter. We got it last week, and I'm proud of that. On my audit committees, Jeff DeLong and Kurt Brinkley, Jonathan Rummel, Jenny Head Hebert, Michael Doris, and we've got some citizens. Bradley Moreland, George Hatcher, and Dennis Wade serves. So this is a big testament to all our department heads and our finance department, because they are staying there every day at the county office building looking for something. They're turning over pencils and everything. And to get a clear finding is a big deal. I'm proud of it. I take a lot of honor in that. I mean, it's just, and it's not me. Don't give me the credit. It's the finance office and our department heads doing things the way they need to do. So big hand out to them. Did we talk about Storm much last month?
We did to basically just absolutely pat everybody on the back and say way to go. And
I was wanting to do that again, and I left some people out.
Yeah,
we've got a new EMA guy called Blake Pierce.
Yeah, we've been bragging on him because he came on with us 3 times. He came on the radio with us.
This guy was putting out emails about the weather when it's coming.
Was awesome.
And there was a couple of nights he never went to bed because of people out at night and keeping up with the traffic. And I didn't mention animal control. Those folks had to go every day.
Oh yeah.
And feed those dogs and clean up those cages.
You bet.
And folks, there's times during holidays, spring break, if you want to foster a dog, if it's nothing but a week, it would be a big help. I'm going to try to start a program where they can get in there on Saturdays now and make people adopt dogs.
That is one thing you and I were talking about.
Yeah.
Because
we talked to the committee and they're all for it.
Because that's one of the hardest things. I was looking to adopt some cats, and
Lord have mercy.
Well, I actually ended up going and capturing some feral cats on my brother's farm. Yeah. And so that's where I've got some kittens that I rescued from there. But my brother said come get them. So he's a working farm, so he's got cats everywhere. But
sure do.
So I went and did that. But I was trying to get into the our animal control and could never get there because they would close before I would finish work and get over there, and then they weren't open the weekends. So. That would be excellent, I think. I think that would help tremendously if we had some Saturday hours for adoptions out there.
It's I'm gonna just give everybody a warning. If it's closed and you've got an animal, do not leave it there.
No, no, no.
Don't just drop it off. Don't
Please
do that.
don't.
Don't do that because if we get an animal and it has a disease or something, sometimes we got to destroy most of them in there.
Yeah.
Once that passes around, we try to keep the place clean. And hey, and I'm proud of it. Brand new building.
It's beautiful.
I was out there last week, and it's just it's so much better, more well ventilated than the one we had. In August, the one we had was plumb hot in there, them poor animals. But now they've got access to go outside into a pen and their own pen. And it's just I mean, there wasn't a bad dog out there. It really
They're
wasn't.
really great dogs.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't like cats. I saw that reaction when I said cats. I
Well-
was like, ha ha.
Well, I mean,
I love cats. I
trust
love
me,
cats.
there's a bunch of cats out there, bunch of cats, and I mean, I don't know where they all come from.
We're about to get well. My thing when I was looking for kittens, it was not during kitten season, and now spring through through falls when we start having more and more litters of kittens, and so right there around the holidays, everybody that was wanting a kitten for Christmas and you couldn't find them, and so I even talked to them at the animal shelter, and they even had some cat rescues that do a lot of work with cats and stuff. Came out and got their cats, and so they should have restocked by now. I mean, because they're always getting dropped, but so yeah. I mean, but I no longer need cats. I have got two. So anyway, I got two little kittens. They're still a little feral too. I'm still trying to tame them.
They'll finally tame down.
Yeah.
I want to give a hand out to EMS too. Those folks were running night and day. Those animals on dangerous roads,
yeah.
and the sheriff's department was out. I mean, I had to get up early some mornings to check roads and stuff, and I always met a deputy.
Oh yeah.
They were out too, and when you shut the county down, well, all we did was shut the office building down. We still got plenty of people that are out there working. Solid waste, I don't think they was down but one day,
Right.
and that was just because the scales was froze up.
Right.
After we got out there, and people called me about salting roads. Already the sidewalk around the building I'm in, where we salted it, I can see some damage. And when you start salting asphalt or anything, it's going to be damaged. And what it costs to fix that stuff, best thing to do is stay in and don't worry about the salt on the roads. Plus, it's very expensive anyway.
We were driving, we went down to Huntsville over the weekend, and just the road conditions in Nashville and things like that from the ice. Oh my goodness, pothole. It's going to be pothole patrol, as we always called it in traffic. You're going to see an awful lot of it here as the weather warms and holds. They're going to be out patching potholes, and that's going to be traffic delays.
Well, as an old railroad man, when you have water around your roads, you're going to have potholes.
Right.
The water runs up on the roads, it freezes, and next thing you know, it's popping up the asphalt. That when the county comes through and they're ditching, and you may not say, well, look at here, they done dug this ditch out and wish they hadn't. That's to keep the water away from the roads. It was the same thing if you don't have gutters on your house. You're going, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
You got to keep the water away from the roads, and that's one of the problems I see with Moore Boulevard from the light out toward north toward 431. There's really no place for that water to go. They've got some drains, but you notice both sides, the water's coming off the hills.
Yeah.
And some of it goes up on the road, and that's always pothole city through there. Yeah.
For sure. And you mentioned the train. Did you see that we had a train accident?
I sure did.
Man, I don't know what in the world happened, but I just don't understand how you can get hit by a train.
Well,
because you see them coming. You don't. Why would you go? I just don't understand. I don't know what happened. I don't have any idea what happened. But
see, I worked on the railroad. I've said it, and I seen a car get hit one day by a train, up at Hoptown. And he just told me, said, I tried to beat it. It just all was to it. He got out and admitted it. Yeah. But if people are, I had an uncle who got barely nipped by a train, and he just had his radio up too loud and didn't hear the horn. When just it snuck up on him. If you're on the phone or something, this situation here, I don't know what it was, but
this sounds like it said something about that a car went down. This is Smoky Barnes here. said that a car went down a ravine, trapping the occupants. Oh dear God, I can't.
Probably
It
got
collided
on.
with the train. Okay, so it went down the ravine after it collided with the train. So it
Okay,
wasn't
yeah.
like it got stuck on. So I imagine they were probably trying to beat the train. That's what happens
Well, it's
a lot of the times.
yeah. Hey,
Mm,
prayers out to the family.
yeah, for sure.
Prayers out to the family,
It's horrible.
and you know that. Let me. Hey, them trains they can't stop on a
No.
dime. It takes them almost a mile to get all that weight stopped,
Yeah.
and it's just a bad situation. Springfield, Adams, all them cities was built around the railroad.
Yeah.
That was the main way to move freight, and the railroad goes right through the middle of Springfield, and Springfield was built around the railroad track.
Mm.
But it's just, I'm going to say that there'll probably be some crossing guards, gates put up at that crossing
Yeah.
since they've had this fatality.
Yeah.
And I've seen people drive around them things.
Oh, for sure.
But hey, let's hope that, and think about the engineer that's driving that train
Oh,
too.
just horrified. Don't you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That just breaks my heart.
So it's
Breaks my heart. I had a crazy friend in high school that tried to, I'm not going to say the name, but everybody back home knows who I'm talking about. But there was like a hill coming up onto a train track. And so there was a bunch of flat cars. So he got the crazy idea he was going to be Dukes of Hazzard and he was going to jump the flatbeds. He survived. But I'll never
you had
forget
some
that.
rough friends, didn't you?
I grew up out in the
Well,
I mean,
I
I'm a
was gonna say,
farm girl, honey.
If I had a
You
friend
know.
like that, I don't know if I'd go. I sure wouldn't
mean,
ride with him, but
He was well, I never
Yeah.
did. He was older than me, but I was just looking at Smoky Barnes. I just too noticed this, and I want to mention this. Payne Chevrolet celebrating 100 years with year-long community giving initiatives. Payne Chevrolet at 100 years old. That's pretty cool.
Well,
That's pretty stinking cool.
I stopped at Baldwin's the other day, and they was bragging they're 100 years old too now.
Who is?
Baldwin's Barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
100
We
years
need to
old.
do I wonder what all the 100-year businesses are and take a look at them.
Well, there's
But,
not many.
Yeah, not many because I mean that's what a
It's hard to stay in
testament.
business nowadays.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
is. And I had the opportunity to work with the Paynes. I had a kind of a God bless them. The fact that they let me work there, I went in there right after my daddy died. I was just kind of wandering, didn't know what to do. And I had just been laid off from my radio gig, and I went in there and applied for a job just working in their office because I was just trying to find a place to land until I get my head clear. And then they wanted me to sell cars. I hate cars. And I was like, I don't know anything about cars. I drive junkers. I pay cash for a car. That was not a good assignment for me. But God bless them. They were so supportive and so good to me, and I loved them a lot. But I was not a good car salesman at all, and I wasn't there very long. But they sure did give me a place to land, and I sure do love the Paynes a lot. But congratulations on that 100-year
100 years.
anniversary. Yeah.
I remember barely. They used to be up there around the courthouse.
Oh yeah, I
Brothers,
remember.
yeah.
I remember somebody telling me about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Were they not in the building there that is the senior
Around
center?
senior citizens.
Yeah, because they said downstairs
Can you
they
imagine?
had some things, some stuff down there where they had, I don't
See,
know.
I remember when Baldwin's was just out there by Helen Cotton.
Yeah.
And, of course, they built the place out here.
So
But
anyway,
they're 100 years old, too.
congratulations to
Yeah.
Baldwin's Barbecue too.
Yeah.
So very good. County Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house, and we're talking about the county commissioner meeting and anything else we want to
Well,
talk about.
let me just say one thing. Open house at the UT Extension Center, where we was just talking about the enhancement
Yeah,
program.
right.
They got open house March 12th from 9 to 11. We have done a lot of work to that building inside, and they want to have an open house and everybody to see what
Oh,
we've
fun.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
The windows and stuff had done started. Let me tell you, these buildings are expensive.
Well, and that building was needing it. It
Yeah,
was
it
needing
used to
it. I've
be a
been in
bank.
there.
I don't know what all that used to be,
Yeah,
but
and it was needing some
it
renovation.
was needed, yes, and the parking lot still needs some.
Yeah.
There's water running through the parking lot, and we've got some chug hose, and it's with the many buildings we've got, you take a little at a time.
Yeah.
We're having to do work down at the archives now, and the schools. I think they're all the time putting a roof on something. We've got a roof that's gone bad down at the highway garage. Water's running inside. We've got to work on that. It seems like roofs just don't last like it used to.
Well, did we have anything as far as the county goes? Now I know in the schools we had we lost the cooling tower over at White House Heritage.
Now that wasn't cheap.
No, and I mean it'd be insured, but did we have any kind of damage that you know of as far as the other county?
Other than ice sliding off roof and tearing off
Sure.
gutters, no, not really. I don't
Okay,
think
well
we did.
we're fortunate then. Very fortunate we didn't have a problem there.
I had several people tell me their cars was parked around their garage and house and ice lit off and busted the windshield.
Oh yeah.
And just think of a person been standing there.
I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. That was one thing. When I had Terry Martin come in, we were talking about all the parks and stuff and how they had things closed because it was so treacherous
Yeah.
with ice coming off of stuff. And they had to, I mean, everything's, of course, reopened long time ago now. But, yeah, it just seems like it was forever ago since we had that big, ice mess. And it's not been a month yet. It's just a few weeks ago. So, I mean, it's just hang out in Tennessee, guys. If you don't like the weather, it'll change in a minute.
We're still handling the brush.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's coming in.
That's going to happen for a while.
It's coming in out there at the landfill. We've got a pile for it, and and then you believe it or not, you got to have a permit to burn it. Of
Right.
course, and then they come out and inspect the ashes.
You mean at the,
TEMA does. If you're dealing with TEMA, they come out and measure it.
and that's at the landfill, though?
Yeah, if
Okay.
all the cities is been offered to bring their brush out there, and we got to weigh every truck, and then they come out and measure the pile.
Interesting.
There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it when you get into
That's
the storm
wild.
stuff. And of course, people are supposed to be bringing it to the front of their house, and we're asking them. We talked about this last time. Don't go behind your house and bring that brush up. Because we can't handle all of it. Really
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, be honest about it.
Yeah, for sure. And I never knew that they were so regulatory on the brush because, I mean, it's going to,
Oh man, it's when
be
you're
kind.
dealing with TEMA and FEMA. Blake can tell you.
Yeah.
If you ain't got every I crossed, you're not going to get your money.
Mm-hmm.
Down at Waverly at the flood, that mayor told me he ain't got all yet, and they're blaming them on some of the paperwork that the people that needed help
Yeah.
didn't fill out right.
Yeah. Well, it's not surprising because the paperwork has gotten so complicated.
Well,
We would love to be able to dredge rock right there at the creek
Yeah.
on cars. And we can dredge a little bit just as being landowners, but we've got such a pile there. And
It's,
the permitting process is a nightmare. I
Well,
mean, it truly
it's,
is. I don't understand half of what they're asking me for.
A lot
And so
of
we
it-
just kind of set it aside and maybe we can work on it this summer. But
a lot
I
of
haven't
it,
had time
Vern,
to
is
pursue it.
people abuse it
I know.
and make it rough on the ones that try to do it right.
Yeah,
We're
and
talking about whether it's limbs, rock, or
right,
anything.
right.
It makes it rough on the people that, and you probably got people turning in false claims all the time
Mm,
with the. Well, I don't care if it's Medicare or what.
yeah,
It makes it rough on the rest of us.
you better believe it.
Yeah.
Well, it's we could go down some rabbit holes right now because that's one thing. If you're doing business right, just like seeing Payne and Baldwin,
Well, it's
being
like
around for
hey,
100
just
years.
like us doing this audit here.
Yeah, yeah. But but I'm saying that's like you've got Payne and you've got Baldwin. They've been in business 100 years, and it's because they've done business and they do it right. And they do it by the book, and it's so hard so many times because so many people don't. There's so many people trying to that's one thing. When we were roofing contractors, we crossed every T and dotted every I, fully insured, licensed, all the things, but we had to compete against those who weren't. And, and you can imagine what that
Yeah,
was
there's
like.
people out right now that will scam you on your brush.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
they will.
Yeah.
And I had somebody come just knocking on my door, random in the middle of the storm, wanting to cut trees for me. And I was like, get off my land. I was like, go away. Because he just didn't look legit at all. And I was like, no, I think we're good, bud. Thank you so much. But I will say no. But you just got to be so careful out there. There's so many people. Make sure people are licensed and insured and all the things before you let them do work for you. But anyway, I digress. You know what? Why don't we kind of took a little lull here. Let me go ahead and do a break and talk about Barry and Rebecca.
Pay for some bills.
Pay for some bills. Pay for some bills. Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Y'all know them and love them because they're our longest running full-time sponsor, and we love talking about them. My husband and I were talking about getting free market analysis on what your property is worth. And so that's one of the things, we're not at all interested in selling, have no intentions of it, hoping we can leave our place for our kiddos to have like a little retreat when we're gone and all those kinds of things. But, you do wonder of the value, especially here in Robertson County, because things are just going through the roof. And it's like, well, if you ever needed to get an equity loan or anything like that, you kind of wonder what kind of value is in your property. Barry and Rebecca would love to do a free market analysis for you. And if you're just curious about that, maybe you just want to know because you want to know if you needed an equity loan, how much you could get, or maybe you're kind of thinking that you want to sell your property. Well, the bottom line is, I don't care what you think your property is worth. It's worth what it's worth. And if somebody, and I mentioned this the other day, if you're wanting to sell your property and somebody's told you, well, your land's worth this, and you've got somebody that wants to buy it for what you want for it, but if they don't have cash in hand to do it, they're going to have to get a loan. And if that property is not, appraised at the value and the market analysis does not meet what you're wanting, they're not going to be able to secure a loan for it. So it doesn't really matter how much you think your property is worth or how much this person wants to give you for it unless they have cash in hand. Banks are going to be involved. And the appraisal, the market analysis are going to come into play when it comes to see how much your property is actually worth. Barry and Rebecca can help you navigate those waters if you're looking at possibly selling. Well, if you're wanting to buy, same thing. What property are you wanting to buy? Is it really worth what you're wanting to pay for it? And can you handle that kind of a loan? Can you support that kind of payment? I had a friend that they built their dream home and very young to be building their dream home. And once they got in it and started paying for it, they realized they couldn't afford it. And they had to sell it and move in and downsize because it was just, they bit off more than they could chew. Barry and Rebecca are going to help you prevent that from happening. Now, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they live here in Robertson County. They've been in Cross Plains for 30 years, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Rebecca actually just put up an open house March 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. in Franklin, Kentucky. It's at 257 Fairway Drive in Franklin. And what's real important is you've got to have somebody that can still broker deals in Kentucky. Not everybody can, but Rebecca's broker can up in White House. Her office, her White House agency office and Barry's brokerage office here in Springfield came together to give you Exit Prime Realty. They are a new branch in the Exit Tree. Same great team. Everything that you have come to know and enjoy from their service, you're going to find it with Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. If you want to connect with them, go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertscounty.com, or as Barry says, just Google them. You'll find them with no problem. The phone number for Rebecca is 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or 7424. And when you check them out, be sure and let them know that U-Turn sent you. Mayor Vogle, hello, hello. Where else do we need to go? What else do we need to talk about?
I probably need to talk about we have put out the new budget schedule for this year's budget. Mm-hmm. We have asked all department heads to turn in a flat budget.
Okay.
We were trying to stick to what was last year, and we're going to stick to it because we've asked them not to put any overtime in their budget, no part-time help, because if they need it, we'll have it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when you put it in there, we just don't want them to use the money for something else other than what it's for.
Yeah.
If this budget's part-time help, that's what we want it spent on. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's election year, mm-hmm. and it's hard to get anything other than it's election year. Everybody's running. They're going to run like no tax increase. Mm-hmm. And they're going to tell you we're not going to raise taxes. Going back, we tell tall tales, but during the debates, they ask, "Are you going to raise taxes?" And I think there was 5 of us sitting there, and all of them said, "No, no, no." And I was the only one that said, "Look, I'm not going to tell you that I can't raise taxes. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to promise you. I don't have a crystal ball."
Exactly.
I mean, there's emergencies come up, and we started putting money in emergency fund, and I'll get into that when we start talking about resolutions here. But you can't tell what's going to happen with the economy. We was not prepared for this ICE deal.
No.
I mean, as far as you wouldn't believe the overtime that EMS and
Mm-hmm.
animal control and all of them had to put in because it's ice deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just the cost of removing and clearing parking lots.
Well,
Good
the
heavens.
county highway department was out
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
was out every day and night with them graders.
Mm-hmm.
See that we didn't see that coming.
Uh-uh.
You know, you got to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
But we didn't see that coming, and of course it probably used up all the overtime that they did have. They're just different things. Whether it's the roof blows off the courthouse, whatever, you don't see those things coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm getting into resolutions, but we are going to start on our budget. It's a long, drawn-out process. We talk to every department head, and I like to wait until the schools come because I need to know what their fund balances are.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And state's slow about giving them all their money. So if you do a school budget and then all of a sudden $3 million comes in, you'll say, why didn't we wait and see about this money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't like to do a budget before July. I really
Right.
don't. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So, and we had Senator Roberts was in yesterday talking about the legislative session and things like that. And he said, really, they're still kind of getting their gears going, and he said they'll have a lot more to talk about next month. But yeah, they're in session right now. So
Right. And see, we don't know what's going to happen over
yeah,
there.
exactly.
And you're dependent on, well, let's face it,
Mm-hmm.
68% of the school money is state money.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we give them sales tax but that's what it is. And you don't know if they're going to cut back. I understand that there's a petition going around, all the mayors that signing it, that I can't think of the initials. Everybody does the alphabet, but it's for the lunches during the summertime.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I hear the state may cut it out. And I'm thinking, well, if we can do vouchers and stuff, why we got to cut this out?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
There's just so many kids that don't have resources, and it's a shame. And I don't know what to do to fix it, but we've got to have some outlets for them. Of course, then trying to get it to the kids who need it. That's the thing.
that's the main thing is getting it where it needs to be. There's no excuse to me. Any child in the United States going hungry.
No, there's not.
There's not an excuse. I don't care.
Unfortunately, you have bad parenting that's in the way a lot of times because you have. I mean, that's just the truth. We've seen it. The benevolence work we do through our church and stuff. That the parents have got to have the responsibility to go and get it. And a lot of times, I talk to too many of my kids that spend way too much time by themselves. And so who's gonna do it if they're on the bus going to school and from school and then they're stuck at home by themselves and can't do anything?
But then again, we're talking about kids and stuff, and sometimes the only hot meal they get is at school.
Yeah.
Is at school, and hey, I remember the time I got to lunch break, man, I'd be starving to death, and that's one reason everybody says, why don't you build these bigger schools and all this? Well. It takes a while to feed all them kids.
Mm-hmm.
You can't start feeding them at 9 o'clock and feed them to 2 because you had a bigger school. It just takes a while to get everybody in the cafeteria and get them out.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it just does
It
that.
does. It does.
I'm getting into Dr. Weeks' territory.
There you go.
Hey, we had election appointments last night. Didn't have one appointment. Robert Gardner. Everybody knows Robert.
Mm-hmm. Love him.
He got appointed to the 911 board.
Okay.
And I think he's an excellent choice.
He's the busiest retired man I've ever met.
Well,
he is in so many things.
Well, I think he'll be an excellent choice.
Oh, for sure.
He cares about the community.
Yes.
Each city pays 911 fees, and what that's based on, when they key that mic inside that city limits, they got to pay for the dispatching and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more than people realize. Some of the cities fuss at me about how much their 911 fees are, and I said, look, the cost is coming from inside your city limits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what y'all got to pay. There's only one city in the county that doesn't pay 911 fees, and we're working on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you say which one? Or
I'd rather not because the election.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I hear you. I got you.
I'd rather not pay, but we're working on that.
I got you.
Because, I get mayors calling, my fees are too high. Well, I said, well, look, you had 700 traffic stops last month. and they was doing license plate checks and all that, and that drives your fees up. You know, it's like the tower. You used to talk your cooling tower at school. The tower out there at Cross Plains has been giving us some trouble, and we've had to replace a lot of the coolers. And then the other day we put like 1,500 gallons of propane inside the tank because that's what keeps the thing warmed up in the wintertime.
Right.
And you know, it just costs money like it to keep that stuff going.
So expensive, but
what ain't expensive?
And that's the truth.
Anyway, Robert Gardner got put on the 911.
Congratulations.
We went into a public hearing last night. We had 2 resolutions around White House that both of them failed, and both of them was 5-acre tracts that was wanting to be split up, but it was on the road the road's already over traffic.
Just way,
And a lot of, hey, I mean, here I am now. I'm not bashing the cities, but a lot of it is traffic. White House, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it. They built so many houses inside the city, but they expect them people to come out on a county road.
Yeah.
I have fussed about that all mayors has. If you're going to come out on a county road, help us do some turning lanes or something.
Yeah.
And then really, the neighborhoods is coming out on Callista.
Yes.
That's the main road up there. This here touches Callista, these 2. And the people in Callista's had it with the traffic.
Yeah.
And I don't think when you just can't keep building subdivisions and then come out on a little narrow. Our county roads are not 16 foot.
I had a friend that lived on Callista for a long time, and oh my goodness, and that it was busy then, and that's been 10 years ago since they lived there.
They both failed, and I hate it for the people that own it. We even last night, when you come to the county commission meeting, we have a sheet out there that you sign if you want to talk. And first we do a public. If you want to say something about something that's doing with the county business, we have a public hearing for that, and then we have one just for zoning. And after the people that got up and spoke, several people that were against the traffic, they already live up there and they was fussing about the traffic.
Right.
And then the owner of the property, he didn't speak, but then after I took the public hearing back to the county commission and the public couldn't speak anymore, he said, "Can I speak now?" And I said, "No, sir, you can't. That's a state rule, and that's not county."
Yeah.
Once I put it back with the county commission, the public can't speak anymore.
Yeah.
And if I'd have let him speak, then other people would want him to speak again. You'd have a rebuttal.
Yeah.
You can't get into that. But both of his resolutions failed because of the traffic on the road. We do traffic studies. We do all that.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're talking about people speeding up and down the road, Callista. But I've noticed that White House is trying to do some of the traffic out on Callista that it's coming out of the city limits. That's the main thing I asked about the Vesper Village. They was planning on coming out on Laura Road, which is a county road, and they promised me that there'd be turning lanes put in and everything before you went in and out Laura Road, which they're planning most of that traffic come out on 49.
I kind of figured.
Yeah, but there was the backside of it on Laura Road.
So I'm just curious. So how many houses were they wanting to put on 5 acres up in White House? Was it?
This was 2 acres. I mean, 2 houses on the 5-acre tract.
Okay.
And one guy, it
Get
just
up on that microphone, sir.
you know, you just be surprised that people come and what they say, and some of what they say, I got to admit, it's out there. It's far fetched. But I had county commissioners just drove down Callista over and over. We've been listening problems about Callista Road now for over 2 years.
Oh yeah, and when White House, when the folks from White House come in on radio, it's a major topic. Callista is.
Trust me, it is. And if you're up there trying to build something, and here's the thing about a 5-acre tract, you can buy a 5-acre tract, but you got to go to zoning if you track it up.
Yeah.
Now, if you track a farm up into 5 acres, you still have to come to zoning. But if you do more than 5 acres, if it's 5.10, the state says you don't have to go to zoning.
Yeah.
That's where you see so many auctions where the tracts will be 5.12, 5.22.
Yeah.
You don't see anything right at 5 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Well, that's
Okay.
that's something that comes from the state too.
Okay.
We got so many state and federal mandates that people blame the county maybe, but we just do what what
Yeah.
what the
A lot of
mandates
it's
are.
coming down from the state. So what else you got? We're running out of time.
Okay.
We got about 10 minutes.
We had two more
Okay.
that passed because they was out in the country and they was it's the country is not really everybody's talking about the growth out in the country. We didn't do but 185 building permits out in the country last year. I'm talking about outside the city limits.
Right.
That's all we did.
That's surprising.
Well, there's not much infrastructure out there. Most of them is where people's wanting their kids to build a house on their farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that's what it's about. And I noticed this road here. There was a farmer that told me. He said, "I'll never develop my farm." Well, when he got $50,000 an acre, all of a sudden he decided he wanted to develop it. We're having trouble finding land for the TCAP school.
Yeah.
We would gladly give $50,000 an acre for some land for the TCAP school, but we can't find anything.
Wow.
I mean, they're talking $100,000 an acre.
What?
Yes.
Where are they wanting to build it?
Well, we got to put somewhere off a main road, that's accessible to all the schools in the county.
Right.
And we've been looking for 6 months. We've come up with several tracks, but it's just the price is too high.
Right.
And I think you're going to see that about Springfield Middle School when they look for land.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking everybody wants $100,000 an acre.
Wow.
In the TCAP school, we got $39 million we can spend. Well, if you spend it all in land, then that cuts your school down.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, we've been 6 months. Every time I come up with a brainstorm, it don't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I wish the county had some land we could donate, but all we got is bluff and hills. By the time they done the work to get it level, they don't spend enough to buy a decent piece of ground.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at 2 sites right now, and they're not perfect, but we're getting down to where we got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
We've been offered this money way over a year,
Mm-hmm.
and haven't been able to take advantage of it.
Is it something's going to be? I mean, are they looking like right in the area around Springfield or up towards
Well,
White House or just
We've looked
anywhere?
out on 431,
Okay.
even stepping out on 161
Mm-hmm.
and 76. We've looked at 3 spots, and going out on 76 is some county property, but it won't work because of all the dirt that's got to be moved.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
I'm gonna be honest with you, 76 is pretty crowded now.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
It really
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Um,
So, okay. Well, if you know of anything, guys, you might want to reach out to the mayor.
okay, let's get into our resolutions. We got
Go
about
for it.
10 minutes.
Yeah, go for it.
And I didn't have but 3.
Okay.
So this won't take but a minute. One of them was come from the sheriff's department, and here we go, folks. One of the water heaters. There's 4 water heaters up there, and one of them is leaking bad.
Yeah.
And they're in closets that has to be tore out to get them out. The closets was built around the water heaters,
Yeah.
evidently, and these water heaters are over $100,000 a piece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking for the clothes and all the trays and stuff they're doing, and they're over $100,000 a piece, and we're going to go ahead and replace 2 of them, so we won't be hit such a leak. The one that's leaking and the one that's behind it.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do it. While we got the leaking one out, let's go ahead and get the other one because they're 15 years old, and that'll leave 2 new ones and 2 old ones. But we're at $100,000 a piece, they got 15-year warranties. But that just shows you what the county goes up against. It. We didn't see this a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
We did not see this. So that's going to be done. It's that jail. Bless its heart. It's a money pit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a money pit.
Unfortunately.
It kind of reminds me of a lot of things people buy or whatever. It turns out to be a money pit. On a good note, we are still getting some opioid funds. Mm-hmm. And last night, most of it is to the mayor's, if it's where I want to put it.
Discretion, to your
Right.
discretion, yeah.
And it keeps it simple.
Mm-hmm.
But the first big check we got, I gave it all to drug court.
Right.
And that's when, you name her names, Thea and them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Althea and Megan.
They are getting 2 new offices.
Yeah.
And we was able to, I'd take some opioid money and give it to them for that. And a better program with rehab, but then I've got some that just can be at my discretion, and we gave out about $25,000 last night, and we was to three different places. CASA we give $6,000
Okay.
because they always need it. But my father's house,
Oh yeah.
the job they did during the storm
Mm-hmm.
and what they served, we gave them $6,000 the opioid money. And you say, what's that got to do? Some of these people are on drugs.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's been. Whew,
They don't have jobs. They're on
that's
drugs.
A lot of it. Yeah.
And CASA works with the parents, the kids and the wives or spouses of these people that's on these drugs.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when the court comes in the middle of the night and takes these kids away, they got to have someplace to stay.
Yeah.
It ain't all about children's services at the state either. We got to take care of our own until the children's services gets involved. And that's what CASA does. My father's house got 6, and then we give United Way some money to give out, and then we gave $6,000 to COPE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one more that people, I think Ace needs to probably come on and talk about it. We gave $6,000 to the 211 helpline.
Okay. Yep. That's
Are
United
you
Way.
familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm very familiar. We give out that number all the time because that's a resource line. You call 211 and you're like, you tell them situation. I can't pay my rent. I've got somebody that needs some recovery or just anything and everything. And if they don't have the answer, they're going to go find it.
Hey, we're talking about senior citizens,
yes,
anybody. If you're having trouble paying your electric bill,
yeah. They can point you. They'll point you to places.
You call
like
211,
yeah,
and they'll point you in the right direction and get you some help.
Yeah.
When I first got elected, we was getting calls like that all the time and didn't have anywhere really to go.
Right.
Until I learned about 211.
Yeah, it's a great resource. It really is.
So we gave them $6,000 just for the simple fact, it's not just people with drug problems. It's senior citizens.
All kinds.
It's anybody that's falling on hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that was $24,000 that was not county money. It was opioid money that was given to the county. And I would love to, it's morbid. I don't know. We have so many autopsies.
Yeah.
So many autopsies. And it's very expensive. They're about $2,500 a piece now.
Mm-hmm.
And the county will write a check for around $25,000 a month.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's taxpayers' money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to look into if I could use some of the opioid money on the ones I know that may be drug overdoses.
Right.
To try to take some of that off the taxpayers. And statewide, can you imagine? But this opioid money, I'm scared will run out.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the companies that's having to pay are filing bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Because some of these sums that they're having to pay are unreal.
Yeah.
But this is spread out all over the state, so you can imagine. We've still got some that I've kept back just for emergencies. I noticed in Charlotte, Mid-Cumberland's building a rehab center now, and they've asked us to put chip in because the sheriff tells me when you send people to a rehab, the best thing to do is get them out of the county.
Yes, because you got to get them away from their familiar.
You got to get them away from their friends, their families, and it's just they need to be outside the county.
Yeah.
And they're building a big facility down there just for that. Mid-Cumberland covers all Middle Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of work.
Yes, they do.
They do a lot of good work.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, Meal on Wheels and all that.
For sure.
So we gave some money for that, and I think we're wrapping up. The schools had a big resolution. It was quite a bit, but they're all the time getting money from the state, and it's like here's $1 million, and most of it most of it was local revenue, which was sales tax, and then here's some from contributors. Some people contributed up to $30,000, and then here's a TSIA, which is Tennessee Investment in Student Achievement, come from state of Tennessee, $854,000.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we passed that. And other than that, moving the date to the next meeting, March 23rd.
Yeah.
That was the meeting.
That was it. So one more month of out of sync on our meetings because of spring break. So I'll see you after spring break.
Yeah.
I will have taken a week off, and Lee Marie's going to fill in for me while I take a week off for spring break this time. So it'll be good to see you.
We'll tell people to spend their money in Robeson County. You wouldn't
money in
believe.
Robeson County, folks.
Hey, you wouldn't believe how you're helping the school system and helping that city too. We're rooftop. Cities want rooftops because they need that sales tax.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, as he always likes to say, we are so blessed because we get to live and work in Robeson County. And
Oh man,
I got to get to it. So
I had a farmer come in the other day. I got 1 minute.
Yep, you got a minute.
He was talking about his property tax, and he told me, he said, but I got a lot of land in Montgomery County. He said theirs was more than ours. I said everybody around Middle Tennessee is more than us.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to pay taxes though, but
No.
it provides for all the things that we love. So we are thankful and blessed, and so thankful for you, brother.
Well, hey, it's been an
yourself.
honor to be a mayor. I'm down if the good Lord's willing. I've got 5 more months.
Yeah.
And my term's up. And everybody, get out and vote. Get out and vote. That is so. These elections are not cheap.
When is the primary?
May the 8th.
Okay.
Am I right?
It's coming up quickly.
It's 1st of May. It's around 1st of May, the primary.
Yeah. There's several people that have thrown their hat in the ring, and we'll have our primary, and then the general is when?
August, ain't it? Yeah, I know it's
I
August.
think so. Carrie,
Yeah.
Senator Roberts mentioned this yesterday because the county elections are different than what you have for state and because Kerry is up for re-election as well, and he is running. He got into that yesterday. People have been asking him, are you running? He's like, of course I'm running. So, but anyway.
If my health was good, I probably wouldn't think about running for mayor again, but I would love to be a county commissioner again.
Oh, really?
I really would if my health was good. I was one for 17 years, and that's where I learned the budget and learned how important it is to look at the big picture.
You know, Bill Jones is running.
He sure is.
And I'm proud of him.
When you're running in your district, you think about your district,
Yeah.
but there's a bigger picture. There's
Yeah.
a bigger picture.
For sure, for sure. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, we will have a visit from our VSO office right here on 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
I'm not